ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੋਂ 3 ਹੇਟ ਸਿੰਬਲਸ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਉੱਤੇ ਰੋਕ ਲਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਆਗੂ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਿੰਬਲਸ ਦੀ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਅੰਦੋਲਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਟਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਐਤਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਨ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਕੰਮ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਪਸ਼ਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਲਈ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਥਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਨਫ਼ਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਉਕਸਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਨਫ਼ਰਤ ਅੱਗ ਵਾਂਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇਸ ਦੀ ਤਕੜ ਬਣ ਜਾਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੇਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਫੈਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਗਰਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ।
We want to be really clear. There are some hateful, completely wrong elements of this protest that I fully denounce, and I've denounced from the beginning. I do want to separate that, which is completely unacceptable. The situation is untenable for people in Ottawa. The kids can't go to school. Businesses are shut down. Small businesses aren't been able to reopen, even though there is a reopening. And people feel locked in their homes and they feel afraid. And that's just wrong. There is a sentiment out there in Canada where people are frustrated with the pandemic. And I want to just say that people are right to be frustrated. It's been a long time. They're angry. But they're also specifically angry about the fact they can't find a home they can afford. Groceries are going up. Their healthcare system isn't there for their loved ones when they need it. And we need to fix those problems. And there needs to be a clear plan. What does it look like to get out of this pandemic? And I think those things need to be done. I think Mr. Trudeau hasn't really shown that leadership to provide that plan to the broader Canadian. Well, the reason why I make this connection to the broader kind of anger that Canadians are feeling is because there are people, surprisingly, that are kind of showing an affinity for what is otherwise a completely wrong, organizers that are completely wrong, elements of this protest are completely wrong, but there seems to be some support amongst broader Canadians. And I feel like if we address the fact that Canadians are frustrated, they are angry, they want to plan out of this pandemic, they don't know what that looks like, they've gotten vaccinated, well, I wouldn't put it on the table with these folks that are holding Ottawa hostage. But I do want Canadians to have a sense of what is the plan. And I feel like people don't know what the plan is. And I feel like that does create frustration. And that frustration emboldens people. And it can be used and misused to exploit that anger that people feel and channel it in the wrong direction. You pointed this out, and you're absolutely right. The folks that are protesting mandates are protesting Ottawa when all these mandates are actually provincial. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But what Mr. Trudeau could do is provide some national leadership. Here is what the plan looks like for us to get out of this. Here's what a post-COVID scenario is going to look like. Well, what we're seeing is that hate is being emboldened. And I've always said from the beginning that hate is very much like a fire. Once it's allowed to take hold, it spreads and it starts consuming everything. If it's okay to hate someone based on their religion, it's okay to hate someone based on their gender, their sexuality, their language, where they come from. And so we need to stop hate in its tracks. And one of the things that we know is a kind of a flashpoint for mobilizing people are certain symbols of hate. And that's why I've been really specific. There are 3 symbols of hate that we want to see banned in Canada. They've got no place in Canada. And there's broad consensus on this. The swastika, Confederate flags, and anything around the KKK. Well, I think these 3 symbols, it's very clear what they stand for, and it's very clear they should not have any place in Canada. And that's why we're limiting this to a very specific set of symbols, those 3. And I